Okay, we've made it to Kona, North Carolina, where Frankie Silver lived in Kona. And she supposedly murdered her husband, chopped him up, burned his body in a fireplace in the early 1800s. And she was hung for her crime. And she lived right in this valley. I think it was sometime around 1830 some when this occurred. And she was one of the few white women that were hung in North Carolina. And she was hung down at that time the county seat was Burke County in Morganton. That's where she was hung. The famous story of Frankie Silver. Many songs were written about it. The old song Frankie and Johnny, they said was written about it, but it wasn't. Written about someone else. Very beautiful day, very humid here in Kona today. And right there's the old church where they attended church. Let's take a walk up to the graveyard, which is up in there behind the church. See if we can find the grave of Frankie Silver. Well, this is the graveyard that Frankie's buried in. I've walked all over it. I can't see the grave. I don't know what it looks like, but I haven't found it. It's here somewhere. A lot of silvers from the 1800s. And there's a Confederate war veteran who was a captain in the North Carolina Infantry, Confederate States of America. And just a very picturesque mountain valley. There's a museum, I think, down in that church. I'm going to go down there and see what I can find out. Well, we're at Kona Missionary Baptist Church. And look how it's grown up around it, the vines and everything. Obviously, it's not in use now. Quite interesting. I'd like to know the story of this church. When I get back home, I'm going to look it up on the internet. I'm sure it's got a good history. But definitely abandoned now due to I don't see anybody could get in. Vines growing all around the roof of it and everything. And I was hoping that we could get into one of these churches has a museum in it. The other one's locked up. I think the other one we were at a minute ago is where the museum is.